War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Today, Ridge and I are excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. Ridge, bring out the dinos for the first time in a while.
Yes, other than my Dorothy Saurus Knights. Feels good to have the Saurus on the channel again and playing some Kotal's Claw.
Yeah, so as we said, it's been a while. First time since the points update just before the GHB.
Yeah.
First time this year you've brought Seraphon out.
Yeah.
And also recently with the new announcements or the tease of the new Seraphon line coming out.
So pumped.
I know you're super excited. Yeah.
Yes, so many good units. We've only heard about, half or so they've said, so bunch more coming. Very excited at some of the new sculpts, yes.
Yeah, some beautiful stuff there. But before we jump into things, always want to make a quick announcement about our Beast of Chaos campaign going on to get our army commission painted right now. If you want to contribute through Super Thanks or Super Chat or whatever, those go directly to helping us get again that army painted up and on the channel. When we hit like 60-70%, we're going to be probably nearing the 2K mark of what we have painted, so we'll be able to get that on pretty quick.
Yep.
Fingers crossed, but super excited for that.
The new book's looking pretty good.
It is, so excited to test out some more. But then for our game today, the mission we're playing is Only the Worthy. So 4 objectives on the table, hold 1, hold 2, hold more scoring. And the twist to this one is if there's a GC on the objective, only GCs count.
Nice.
So yeah, and you can only have 1 from each army count, so basically the first GC gets there, holds it. It's like the old lore seeker rule.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Rich has a couple more GCs than me, but do you want to jump in and take us through your list?
Absolutely. So for my list, the Saurus are back. So essentially it's going to be a Scarvet on Carnosaur. He's got the Eviscerating Blade, so the mortals on a hit. It's the Kotal's Claw item. He's the general as well, which gives him Beastmaster 2, and his command trait lets him, when I use CP, they come back on 4-up. And then we got a Slan with the Ixty Grubs for the reroll. We have a Skank Star Seer for the 3-6 charge, and another good spell. The Star Priest for the mortals, awesome Sunblood, Saurus Sunblood, which I haven't ran forever. This is the newest guy that I've painted up kind of just for this. He gives +1 to wounded or in the combat phase, but just a cool GC essentially. And then, you know me, I gotta have an ally. We got the, everyone's been using the Night Vexillor because he's got the mortal wound kind of bomb in the hero phase. So it'll be interesting to see that with Comment and everything else. And then for Battle Line, we got a big unit of 30 Saurus Warriors, 10 Saurus Knights, and 5 Saurus Guard, and then just 3 Pterodons. And then as well, I have 5 Chameleons, Kinks in reserve, because the Deep Strike is nice with things that don't move very fast. And the Ravnax Gnashing Jaws, just because, again, so good.
Lots of anti-GC tech.
Yes, the Mortals and Seraphon are just going to be obviously very good with that type of thing.
For sure. Well, here, I don't have many GCs for you to eat alive with those. But I do have one, which is my Sorcerer Lord, and he's my general. I am playing Knights of the Empty Throne, so because Archaon's in here, I can't make a unit of Varangard General. And then I do have 3 units of Varangard, though, minimum 3s, all Marched Corn, all with the Fell Spears. And obviously Archaon's in the list, so he's the big boy.
Beast.
Gonna hold it down. And rounding out, I also have an ally. I had 150 points left over, so it was just enough to fit in a Chaos Guardian, which is fun, a little bit of extra tech with some extra, potentially 2 rend between his ability and
the -1 save.
A roar could, well-timed roar could be very impactful.
Yeah, and you were saying earlier, like, usually Slaves List not having that roar is so huge for them. You have Archaon here, but it's so nice. You're going to see people be using them like that,
For sure. And then I had everything wrapped up in a battle regiment, so just 1 drop here. No use for extra enhancements, but it did mean I outdropped you, unsurprisingly, with Seraphon. And Ridge, I'm going to have the choice, and I'm going to give you first turn.
Makes sense.
Let's jump into Seraphon turn 1.
Sounds good.
Unfazed by the Everchosen's appearance, the Seraphon battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Slann and Archaon both use heroic leadership. The Slann activates the Sage's Staff, and Archaon selects the Mark of Nurgle. The Slann casts Mystic Shield on the Saurus Warriors, Arcane Bolt, and Comet's Call, dealing 3 mortals. The Star Priest uses his Serpent Staff on the Saurus Warriors, but has Control Fate unbound. Lastly, the Starseer casts Hand of Glory on the Warriors. Saurus Warriors use at the double. Holding their defensive formation, the Seraphon complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Alrighty, so back from Seraphon turn 1. Pretty much everything I think I was trying to do, I kind of did.
One spell unbound.
Yeah, 1 spell. It was a big one though, +1 save, which I did get Mystic Shield off, so
yeah.
+1 save, but +2 save on those Warriors would have been tasty, tasty. Other than that, everything else just kind of moved in position because you have a threat at the double. I did do Desecrate. That was the only one because neither of these points are wholly outside my territory, so I couldn't do the GC on one. So I had to take Desecrate and just kind of leaving the birds over there to be annoying later. But yeah, everything else just kind of positioned and bracing for impact here. You got a lot of damage. I've played Varangard for a very long time, so I know how much damage is coming in here. All -3 rends, so yeah, let's see some things die.
Yeah, probably. And yeah, that's about it. You jumped on one of the objective with the GC, so you're denying me from taking it until he's dead.
Yep.
But we're gonna try our best to see if we can make that happen and jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1.
Sounds good.
Self-assured in their martial prowess, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is run them down. The Sorcerer Lord uses Drawn on Power and Pledge to the Dark Gods, and Sunblood fails heroic leadership. The Sorcerer miscasts Chaotic Conduit and kills himself, but is revived by Fueled by Gurish Rage. Next, Archaon miscasts Mystic Shield and suffers 2 mortal wounds. Yeah, good start. The Saurus Warriors redeploy, moving 3 inches. The Varangard on the western flank use forward to victory, but fail their charge. Archaon roars the Saurus Warriors. The Sunblood uses all-out defense as the first unit of Varangard use all-out attack, dealing just 5 damage to the Warriors. The Warriors attack next, dealing 3 damage to Archaon and taking down a Varangard. The end unit of Varangard activates again, dealing 4 damage to both the Sunblood and Warriors. The Sunblood fights next, dealing 2 damage to the Varangard. Archaon and Dorgar fight next, dealing 6 damage to the Warriors. The other unit of Varangard attacks, killing 4 more Warriors. Unable to use Inspiring Presence because of Archaon, the Saurus Warriors flee to Battleshock. Hacking through toughened hides, The slaves complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
Slaves to Darkness turn 1 was better than expected, actually, in the end. Namely because of Archaon making you unable to use Inspiring Presence.
Yes.
Because of reducing damage by 1, my Vanguard were trying to chew through, double activated the 1 unit, also trying to kill your GC, which I failed to do because of his 5-up ward.
Yep.
So great
3-up base
Griff,
as well.
Griff Feather Charm there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But, so didn't manage to take him down. But between Archaon and the 2 units of Vanguard, because 1 failed to get in,
Yep.
I did take out 20 of the knights,
yeah,
warriors.
The Battle Shock.
Exactly. Me and Battle Shock was going to take the other 12 off, so not too bad. Archaon took a couple wounds. You took a Vanguard down, so not without some casualties on my end as well.
Yeah, I couldn't really get out to. I guess maybe I could have actually, now that I'm looking at it, if I could have kept a couple of them there, then staying out of 12. But that is so good. The built-in horror
Yeah,
cast.
and that's why I didn't double activate these guys, because you were still within 12. Also, they were running anyways, right? So I didn't need to. But yeah, the showing big here when Archaon goes up against a horde style unit that you can rip through it.
Yeah.
What else? Chaos Guardian didn't get in. These Vanguard didn't get in. Didn't need them, obviously, in hindsight. And it takes me the objective. I would have had to kind of trail back there. So, miscast with my first 2
all your
spellcasts.
spells went great. That was a good start.
So that was, a little dicey.
Wicked dicey.
Yeah, quite dicey. So, not the best start for Magic here.
Yeah. You killed yourself. I didn't even say that.
Yeah, I know. I killed myself, and came back to life from the
GC.
Yeah, the trait.
Yep.
The aspect, and so that's not a great start. Also, my great strategy is tied to him surviving. Not a great strategy in this list, but I just wanted to test it out.
Better with more Sork Lords.
Yeah, that's it. Only 4 points because you do hold this objective with the GC,
blood.
so it's pretty solid. It does put us into a turn.
Big prio.
Turn 2 priority, which we feel like it's going to be very polarized in either way. Either I didn't kill all your stuff, or you're going to kill everything but Archaon.
All right, Big Phil. We got the England die.
All right, here
we go.
AOS Coach.
Coach versus England.
That's a 5.
It's not a symbol.
AOS Coach coming through.
Not a symbol.
All right, well, we're jumping into Slaves to Darkness, turn 2.
Poised to strike a crippling blow, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is lust for power. The Sorcerer Lord uses Drawn on Power, and Sunblood uses their finest hour. The Sorcerer Lord has Chaotic Conduit and Demonic Power unbound. Next, Archaon has Mystic Shield unbound, but casts Arcane Bolt. The Slan unleashes his own Arcane Bolt to deal 1 mortal to Archaon. The Sorcerer Lord uses at the double. The Chaos Gargant uses Forward to Victory, but makes its charge. The Gargant roars the Carnosaur. Then Archaon stomps the Sunblood and unleashes his Arcane Bolt, but deals just 1 mortal. The first unit of Vanguard fight and take down the Carnosaur. The Sunblood uses all out attack, but deals only 1 damage to the Vanguard. The Chaos Gargant attacks next, but deals no damage. The Saurus Knights attack, dealing 8 damage to the Gargant and 2 to Archaon. The Vanguard fight and finish off the Sunblood. When Archaon fights, he deals 7 damage to the Saurus Knights. The Saurus Guard in the Realm Shaper engine deals 3 damage to the Varen Guard. Activating again, the Varen Guard deal 2 damage to the Saurus Guard and 6 to the Knights. Attracting the Eye of the Gods, the Sorcerer Lord is granted Arcane Awakening. Trampling all before them, the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Alright, another Slave's turn, another dismal magic phase, but a very effective turn otherwise. Obviously the Warrior Wall did its job besides running into Battle Shock.
Yep.
Turn 1, but here got into the meat and potatoes and did some work. Chaos Jordan had an impact.
Yeah, he failed it and re-rolled it and made the charge, and that -1 save is very good.
Yeah, used my last CP, which was unfortunate because I had auto run 6 for my trait.
Yep.
Could have gone for gaining momentum and not do that, but he's gonna die, so that was my last kind of chance to get that tactic, and I wanted to get that one off the board.
Yep.
And
more of the roar, actually. Yeah, we were saying was even more impactful
in combination with the -1 save.
Yeah.
Paired with something like Archaon can do that, but even here where Archaon's not over there, or I don't want to put Archaon over there so he can stomp and Arcane Bolt this guy, which
that could have just killed him right away, but I made one of the ward saves.
Yeah, so that was very beneficial having him there.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, when you think of all the stacking saves you could have done, is effectively puts them at like Rend 4, Rend 5 if you think of like not being able to use all the defense either.
Yeah, on already Rend 3 Varen Guard, it's like, okay, another -1 save.
Yeah, and here they are reduced to 1 damage, which we saw like it's keeping the Chaos Knights, or sorry, the Saurus Knights alive.
Still alive, yeah.
It's still like a good volume of attacks and the horses and
killed the Carno to the wound, but
with the first
second
activation
because I had the guard in the temple, which in my head I was thinking about that when I had them here. I popped them in my turn, thinking I wanted to kind of push out, and I was already in a really bad spot if I would have got doubled, which ended up happening. So maybe could I guess kept them out, but still.
Yep. So big turn, store my advanced or battle tactic and all my points here. My wizard turned into an even better wizard. He does an extra cast now. But I'm guessing he won't survive until my next turn.
Yeah, there's some chameleon skinks that really want to shoot something.
But that's about it for us right now, and we'll go into a Seraphon turn 2. There's still points to play for in that, and depending on prio, it could be interesting in that regard. So let's do it. Seraphon turn 2.
Cool beans.
Refusing to give away without a fight, the Seraphon battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Vexillor uses their finest hour and strike the opening, dealing 3 damage to Archaon, and the Sorcerer Lord uses heroic leadership. The Varen Guard rally but return no models. The Star Priest uses a Serpent Staff on the Saurus Guard but fails to cast Hand of Glory. The Starseer casts Control Fate on the Varen Guard. The Slan casts Arcane Bolt, has Ragnarok's Gnashing Jaws unbound, then finishes off the Sorcerer Lord with Comet's Call. The Starseer uses Tunnel Master to teleport across the battlefield. The Skink Starseer shoots at and finishes off the Chaos Gargant. The Chameleon Skink uses all-out attack and deals 5 damage to the Varen Guard. The Star Priest deals 2 damage to finish off another Varen Guard. The Saurus Guard attack the last Varen Guard and finishes him off. Never to be underestimated, the Seraphon complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Alrighty, so back from Seraphon, turn 2, bottom of 2. Was looking pretty grim, but never count Seraphon out for getting
That's
points.
That's why we kept playing, right?
Doing stuff. So yeah, started with the spells. Comet just rolled a 1, but all I needed to kill him. And I was able to with the shooting. The Starseer has like 2 shots,
couple chip shots, yeah.
D3 did 6 damage to that Gargan.
Yeah.
So took him out, and then I put all the buffs on my Source Guard in the temple. And yeah,
they finished off the last Baron Guard, that unit.
Just barely. I put an Arcane Bolt as well. Just everything to try to clear this. And then play for the double, obviously.
Yeah.
And then now be in a good spot for the double. Not a good spot for the game because you still have 2 units of Vanguard and Archeon.
But good spot on the board, like
on the
all
board,
things considered.
And having GCs. This is, I still have 4 GCs.
Yep.
So you still have to go and clean that stuff up. So yeah.
Yep.
Makes it interesting.
Lots to play for still.
What are we rolling now? I'm going with the old casino die.
Alright, got some Dallas Defenders.
Okay, nice.
It's a 5 again.
So is mine!
I win ties!
It's happening.
Let's go into Slaves of Darkness, turn 3.
Boo.
Angered at the impudence of the lizards, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is eye for an eye. Archeon uses Heroic Recovery and the Slan uses their finest hour. The Vanguard rally, returning 1 model. That's lucky. Archeon has Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt, both unbound. The Starseer redeploys, moving 3 inches. The Vanguard use Forge of Victory, roll a 10-inch charge. The Chameleon Skinks unleash hell, but deal no damage. Archeon use Skull Gorger and slays a Saurus Knight. The first unit of Vanguard attack and takes out the Pterodons. The Chameleon Skinks deal 1 damage to the Vanguard. The lone Saurus Knight uses all-out defense, but Archeon quickly puts him down. The second unit of Vanguard attacks and takes out the Chameleon Skinks. Continuing to show their dominance, the Slaves complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Slaves, turn 3, I rally back to Vanguard and then whip them across the board. Yeah, can't complain about that. I could have gone for the Slan, but I set it up to try and push over here to kill that unit. Mostly at this point, I'm trying to just score my maximum points, and if I stayed there and went for the Slan, I'm not getting points.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have been able to take this.
It's theoretically better for the game to kill the Slan than those guys, but I just want maximum points because you still have, Source Temple or Source Garden Temple, but yeah, you have 4 heroes that can auto-claim objectives just by marching onto them.
Yeah, and in this edition with these battle tactics, it's
on this mission specifically, it makes it really interesting.
Normally it would be donezo.
And I have to, basically you have the chance to be able to be scoring 5 points at least for 1 or 2 turns likely, if not the last turn as well.
Depending on priority, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be dicey, all to play for still.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. But anyways, that charge opened up, and actually you redeployed your guy off of here. Otherwise, Archeon probably would have charged over here to take this objective, or he would have.
Yeah.
But because you redeployed there, it allowed me to go for this play of putting them there, because I couldn't leave the Knights alive.
Yeah.
I just had to finish them. But I let Archeon finish off the Knights, and these guys finish off the Pterodons over here. So I'm in a better board position to answer wherever you throw stuff.
Everything's kind of in the middle, yeah.
Depending on priorities, and again, we saw you still have damage output, so.
A bit with magic, but yeah, the turn 4 prio after getting some points here will be interesting for sure, score-wise.
Yes, sir. So we'll jump into Seraphon, turn 3.
See what I can do.
Unwilling to submit to chaos, the Seraphon battle tactic is lead the assault. The Slan and Archeon both use heroic leadership. Slan casts Arcane Bolt, but has Gnashing Jaws and Comet's Call unbound. The Star Priest fails Hand of Glory, but the Star Seer casts Control Fate on the Vanguard. The Knight Vexillar's Meteoric Standard deals 2 mortals to the Vanguard. The Slan uses at the double. The Star Priest and Star Seer both shoot, but deal no damage. The Slan unleashes his Arcane Bolt and finishes off Vanguard. Utilizing their ingenuity, the Seraphon complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Alright, so back from Seraphon turn 3. This has, as we said, turned into a game of me kind of running away, shooting, killing things where I can, and just scoring all these new tactics where, like, so this one, I have to have a GC in each of enemy territory, in which I do, bang and bang. So it's like, yeah, just going through the process of doing that. Thank God the Arcane Bolt, you didn't roll the 4 up for the ward, and it just popped that last Vanguard, because the shooting didn't do it. So it was just, some movement, and that's it. I'm gonna score, again, same thing.
5 points,
another 5.
Again, like we said, scoring well.
Yeah.
And it's starting to come down to it.
It is. Okay, I gotta get a new die here. This is the new thing. We just roll all people's dice. All right, OJ.
It's a 1.
OJ, fiction, need ya. Fiction symbol. All
right.
I'll definitely take the turn.
Cool. So we'll go into Seraphon, turn 4.
Here we go.
With their champions brashly holding firm, the Seraphon battle tactic is United Defense. The Star Seer uses their finest hour and Archaon fails heroic leadership. The active asterism is the Hunter's Steed, then the Vanguard rally but return no models. The Slan casts Arcane Bolt, Ragnarok's Gnashing Jaws, but has Comet's Call unbound. The Star Priest has Blazing Starlight unbound, but the Star Seer casts Control Fate on the Vanguard. The Knight Vexillar uses at the double. The Slan unleashes his Arcane Bolt, dealing 3 mortals to the Vanguard. The Saurus Guard attack, dealing 2 damage to finish off the Vanguard. The lone Vanguard fights back, deals 5 damage to the Slan, who passes them to the Guard. The Slan deals no damage, and the Vanguard activates again, dealing 2 damage to the Guard. Standing strong in defiance, the Seraphon complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Okay, back from Seraphon turn 1.
Just 1? Turn 4?
Back from Seraphon turn 4. Again, just kind of still staying spread out. Had a tactic to have 2 GCs that take over a point, so amazing to be able to utilize that right now.
Yep.
And then, thank God I took down one of the 2 Vanguard, because with the double activation, there would have been a lot better chance you killed the Slan, but I felt like if I stayed outside, in your turn on the charge, you would have decimated all of them anyways. So better to -1 save you go in and do that.
Yep.
So
barely did it. It was I needed to roll a 1.
Yes.
On my last
for the last chomp bite. Yeah.
To finish off the 7 Vanguard. Otherwise, the 2 probably would have lifted.
Good chance. There's 8. Yeah. There's 8 wounds there, but good chance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just did 7. I did 7 there. So.
Yeah. No. Either way, it was like, it's one of these moments that are like...
Very close.
Yeah, and it's one of the classic ones that...
And you got all 3 damage on the Arcane Bolt through?
Yes.
That was big.
But a classic moment that Jordan and I always have off camera is where it's like, oh, 1 last, okay, gotta do it. Yup, you're gonna roll the 1, and then sure enough, you lost the 1, and it's like... Warhammer moment.
Yeah, that's it though.
Yeah.
You'll get your 5 points. So again, we know you're to be scoring big here, and scoring well. So we'll just jump into not Stormcast, a Slaves to Darkness turn 4.
Furious that they are not yet victorious, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is enthralled to chaos. Archaon uses their finest hour, and the Starseer uses heroic leadership. Archaon has Mystic Shield unbound, but casts Arcane Bolt. The Starseer redeploys, moving 3 inches. Archaon uses Forge of Victory and makes his charge. The Vanguard split their attacks, killing both the Vexillar and Star Priest. The Star Priest fights but deals no damage, and Archaon swings back and puts him in his sword. Finally slaying the upstart champions, the Slaves complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Slaves turn 4 was as perfectly everything I needed, right?
Yes.
Archaon with finest hour. The big risk was the redeploy. Now I could have picked my tactics in a different order, but you were on 0 CP, so I'm like, now's the best time to try and turn off the redeploy, right?
Yeah, I rolled a 2 up with the Starseer to get the redeploy. Rolled a 3.
Yeah, so that was all I was hoping for, was just not a 6.
A 6 redeploy there would have been massive.
Yeah. Got the 3. Archaon still got in. He was on finest hour. Put the guy in the sword though.
Yes. Failed the first one too. Had to use the reroll. Rolled a 5.
Which meant I had no all attack over here, which was like dicey. Because I was splitting my heroes.
Yes.
Or splitting between your 2 heroes, my attacks. The one skink died to the exact wound. The Vexillar died
overkill.
Yeah.
But even there, like if that Star Priest survives, oh my god.
Denies me a point. You potentially get another point.
Yes. Retreat out after.
Yeah. So I'll get my 5 here.
Yep.
And it's looking grim for Seraphon, but it's not impossible.
No.
And there's still more points to consider. So let's roll it out.
Yep.
That's a 6.
Same with me. Finally, the TC symbol.
Yeah, you win ties. So we'll jump into a quick Seraphon turn 5.
Yepper.
With a chance to avoid defeat, the Seraphon battle tactic is this one's mine. How are they still in this? The Slan fails heroic leadership while Archaon succeeds. The Vanguard rally but return no models. The Slan casts Mystic Shield, Arcane Bolt, and Comet's Call, dealing 2 mortals to the Vanguard. Conceding ground for their grand strategy, the Seraphon fail their battle tactic and score only 1 point.
Okay, so back from my turn, doing a bunch of math and little measurements and movements of little endless spells and things to try to mitigate what is going to happen here. My thinking essentially is Archaon is now 10-inch charge. If I get away fully, we've done the math, if I'll get my grand strat if my GC doesn't die, and then all the math together we would tie. So it's going to come down to I'm trying to mitigate both the Vanguard or Archaon. If Archaon makes the giant charge, then he does. So yeah, essentially I've laid it in a position where you could make a big charge with the Vanguard, but I've tried to move block.
We're just trying to mitigate as much as possible in general.
And move block with the single source would have been sick if I could just take him out, roll the big jaws, but yeah, essentially now I'm using it as what you mostly on the spells are used for, which is blocking movement as well, and blocking lanes.
Yep.
So it's interesting.
We're gonna have to go slan hunting. Well, that's about all there is to it now, so we'll go into Slaves to Darkness turn 5.
Exuberant in the violence of battle, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is desecrate their lands. Archaon and the Slan both fail heroic leadership. The Vanguard rally, returning 1 model, while the Saurus Guard return none. Archaon dispels Ragnarok's gnashing jaws, but fails to cast Arcane Bolt. The Vanguard use at the double. The Vanguard use forward to victory, but fail their charge. Archaon makes it in, then stomps the Saurus Guard. Piling in, Archaon attacks the Slan, dealing the exact damage needed to take him out. Unsurprised by the inevitable outcome, Archaon and the Slaves to Darkness complete their battle tactic and score 5 points.
Well, Archaon, at the end of the day, put the army on his back, did all the work he needed to.
Yeah, got lucky.
All still, using his smarts, dispelling me on the spell. He tried to cast an Arcane Bolt as well it mattered there.
Yeah.
I needed to get the stomp off. I rolled the 2.
Yes.
So I had to get the stomp to kill that guy so I could pile into the Slan. Only possible because I did unbind that spell. If I don't unbind it, I can't make that play.
If you don't dispel the Ravenax, yeah.
Because that's exactly where he's sitting.
Yeah, and I moved it in that position for these guys, thinking you made a nice play to make it a 9-inch charge over here.
Over there, I put the die back thinking I was going to go this way, but then I measured it afterwards when I went to movement, and I put them around the back for a 9-inch charge, but had I have brought my die back there, it would have been like a 5 or a 6-inch charge.
If you brought with a redeploy.
I may not have risked the redeploy, or that's always super dicey.
Yes.
Because a 6 on that could have made it a 12, and none of this is possible.
Yeah.
Where, because I dispelled the endless spell, it was worth just staying outside of 9, not giving you the redeploy anyways, so that I had the chance of this backup play.
Yeah, and the only thing I could have done from my perspective, which you can see from the top down, is I moved here to be block here. Yeah. I could have, which I've talked about, move here to move block Archaon, so you won't be able to get through. But then the Vanguard would just run through here, and both of those Vanguard would smash the Slan.
Yeah.
So all of that needed to.
Well, you were trying to do everything you could, but you couldn't guarantee it, right?
No.
Obviously.
And that's where I went with this, you having to make a 9 and then fail with the reroll with them. Yeah. But then I think the
rolled
8 was enough to kill him. And then after all of that, I had all defense and Mystic Shield. You killed him to the wound with I had one profile.
Exactly. I had not gone for Finest Hour, or I got for Finest Hour previously to guarantee that kill. Thinking that was going to be the most integral combat, but here, because again,
CP on the reroll charge, so you had no CP.
Yep. So was not all out attack.
Yes.
Obviously not +1 to wound, so I was just on base profile, and you were +2 to save because I had to stomp there.
So the Slayer Kings, I didn't roll 4 with either of them, and that did 6 damage.
But the 5 damage one you saved.
One single one, yeah. But either way, I was like, this game has been very much Jordan, obviously, from turn 2 on. I've been just staying in it only because of the battle plan. Yeah, if this was a different battle plan, I would not have gotten any tactics later on. Because the GC ones are very much...
Yeah, very rare, but because you were only holding the objectives because
I was a GC.
Even when you put the 2 heroes on here, I still had 2 Vanguards, so you wouldn't have taken it in a normal situation.
I was thinking way more like that. So to go to the very end like this and just wanting to tie this game so badly, and I was that close, it would have been epic.
So you were at 1 point on your turn. I get 5 here. And that's enough to pull ahead 4 points at the end, because I won't get my grand strategy.
No.
Jeremy, you've led me astray. Obviously, I'm just killing this. Not the grand strategy I went for, which is to roll the 11 or 12 on the Eye of the Gods. Very reliable. Maybe not here where I only have the 1 hero.
And you got to be Kabbalists, so both your mages roll in 3d6. It is a much higher percentage and a good grand strat.
But it is, even that one, like, one of the things with Slaves is they don't have very grand strats.
Yeah.
Like none that are like really, really good.
Yeah.
In hindsight here,
Take What's Theirs
is good for like a fast list like this.
That's all I played with mine.
But in something like I often have played the more balanced lists where Take What's Theirs isn't a guarantee. I had 5 units in my LVO list, right?
Yeah. Not me.
Yeah. So Take What's Theirs is a good one when you're playing Knights of the Empty Throne and you got the speed.
You're aggro, you're going to be going completely into their zone. Yeah. But this was a crazy mind down to the end. Just
making it a lot of like pushing it right to the end though. It was you were up 1 going into round 5.
Yeah, would have tied if I would have. If the Slam would have survived, we would have tied.
Up 2 going into the final turn of the game. So that's all we can ask from Archaon.
Yeah,
doing exactly what he needs to, nothing more.
Yeah.
that's about it. Guys, we'll wrap things up here. Hope you enjoyed that one. Either way, we'll see you soon in another video.
Have a good week, everyone.